Babes, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And honestly, if our lives had Bravo cameras following us around right now, the producers would have renewed us for 3 seasons based on our family group chats alone.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is a dark, dark place in those group chats. Like, the things we say, the screenshots we hoard, it's a lot. But we survive. Barely.
We survive and we thrive. So to the Snark Squad, to all our babes listening right now, grab your drinks, find a comfortable seat, because tonight we have Georgia Peach Sangrias on deck.
Yes, we do.
We are unpacking the Atlanta finale. So let's just raise a glass, a toast to surviving another week in the real world and surviving this absolutely wild, chaotic season of television.
Cheers to that, honestly. And I mean, I needed this sangria just to process the sheer audacity of this finale. Like, the mechanisms at play here are just, they're insane.
They really are.
The psychological warfare, the legal gymnastics, the blatant PR stunts. It was just so much to take in. My nervous system is completely fried at this point.
I know. It was a heavy one.
I am legitimately wondering if the network can subsidize our copays for the therapy required after watching these women just, systematically destroy each other's lives.
Oh, stop it. You are always so cynical about this.
Huh.
I am still holding out hope. I really am. Like, I bring the emotional optimism to this duo, and I truly still believe these women can find their way back to each other.
Oh, please.
They can. They just need to sit down, put the egos aside, and have a real vulnerable conversation.
A vulnerable conversation? Are you kidding? Half of them need to be in the federal witness protection program after the stunts they pulled at that saloon party.
Oh, yeah, the saloon was bad.
There is no healing when we are talking about this level of scorched earth calculated behavior. You do not just, hug out a printed dossier of text messages in a physical altercation.
Okay, fine. Maybe healing is a strong word for where we are right now. But we're going to get into all of it today. The shattered friendships, the financial illusions, the ethical disasters.
I can't wait.
But before we break down the absolute circus that was the finale, we need to set the tone for the week. It is time for our week-long horoscope.
Brace yourselves, Snark Squad.
This is a highly specialized, slightly unhinged 7-day horoscope tailored specifically to you. And yes, this applies to all 12 zodiac signs because, honestly, we are all operating in the same chaotic moon right now.
We really are.
The stars have spoken, and they are messy. So the overall week vibe: chaos with a peach on top. You can expect sudden, inexplicable urges to print out text messages and bring them to social gatherings in a manila folder.
A classic move.
Right. Just resist the urge. Or don't. Let the intrusive thoughts win. We aren't your life coaches here.
We definitely are not. So let's talk about your love prediction. Over the next 7 days, you're going to find yourself inexplicably drawn to someone who lies as effortlessly and as beautifully as a Bravo husband.
Oh, no, not a Bravo husband.
Yes, just a smooth, buttery liar. The kind of person who can look you dead in the eye, tell you the sky is neon green, and make you doubt your own vision.
That is terrifying.
It is. And consider this a formal, urgent warning. Beware of men bringing farm animals to your house.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you are on a date and he shows up with a horse, do not think it is romantic. Lock the doors and call animal control immediately.
Lock them. That is not a grand gesture. That is literally a zoning violation. Now, for your career warning this week, this is not the time to be an entrepreneur. Do not launch a business right now.
Just put the LLC paperwork down.
Exactly. The planetary alignments do not support your startup. And specifically, absolutely do not launch a business if it involves electronics that sound like industrial leaf blowers.
Oh my gosh, the decibels.
If your prototype requires hearing protection, put it away. The world is not ready for your innovation, babe.
And your friendship forecast for the week. Listen closely. A group chat leak is imminent. It is hanging over you like a dark, heavy cloud right now.
It's terrifying to even think about.
Someone is going to hit forward instead of reply. So trust no one, especially trust no one who approaches you and says, "I come in peace."
Oh, that is the worst phrase ever.
Right. In the vernacular of reality television and modern friendships, "I come in peace" is a tactical declaration of war. It is code for, "I am about to ruin your entire life."
It is the ultimate trap. Never trust it. Now, for your lucky drink or snack this week to get you through all this impending chaos, you're going to need a large bag of chili cheese Fritos and a very heavy pour of Jesus and whiskey.
An iconic combo, honestly.
It is. And finally, the one thing you need to stop overthinking immediately. Just let it go. Release it into the ether. Stop trying to figure out the timeline of who knew Black tatted first.
Oh, please stop.
It's a losing game. The math is not mathing. The dates do not align. The Instagram DMs have been manipulated. and your brain just deserves peace.
It really does. I mean, I spent 3 hours last night cross-referencing timestamps on my phone, and I am no closer to the truth.
See? You're doing it too.
I can't help it. But speaking of overthinking timelines, the internet has been absolutely spiraling over the leaked trailer for the reunion.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So before we even touch the finale, let's just slide right into our reunion spoiler delusions, because I cannot stop dissecting that 2-minute clip.
It is so good. Let's just run down the major bombshells, starting with the genuinely shocking emotional moments, the babies.
Yeah, the baby news was actually surprising.
Right. First, Shemaya emotionally revealing that her journey with her surrogate was a success, and she's officially expecting a baby with Gerald. I got chills.
It was a big moment.
Knowing the sheer crushing weight of what she was going through with that final embryo this season, it was just a beautiful moment of relief. And then, Pinky dropping the absolute bombshell that she is pregnant with baby number 4, due in December.
The gasp I let out startled my neighbors. I'm not even kidding.
Same. And the best part is the deadpan delivery. Like, when Andy asks about her mother's reaction to baby number 4, Pinky doesn't sugarcoat it at all.
Not even a little bit.
She just looks at him and says her mom is mad as F word, which is the most real, grounded thing she has said all season.
It really is.
But honestly, as sweet as the baby news is, we know the ecosystem of a reunion. We know what the viewers are really tuning in for. The carnage.
Exactly. We are not here for a baby shower. We are here for the destruction. And let me just state this clearly right now. Babes, somebody is absolutely bringing screenshots, timestamps, and emotional damage.
Oh, they are armed and ready.
The prompt for this reunion was clearly, take no prisoners.
Let's talk predictions and receipts, because the art of the reunion receipt has really evolved. It's no longer just saying, oh, I heard a rumor. You have to have the physical evidence now.
You need a binder.
You do. So who is arriving with the most devastating arsenal? My money is completely on Porsha going up against Kelly. In the trailer, we literally see Porsha bringing physical, printed documents regarding Kelly's living arrangements.
It is the weaponization of office supplies. And it is a tactic Porsha has mastered. She understands the visual psychology of television so well.
She really does.
When you just argue with someone, it's a verbal volley, right? But when you pull out a manila folder, you shift the power dynamic completely. A manila folder implies you have done research. It implies corporate-level investigation.
It's like she hired a private investigator.
Exactly. When Porsha pulls out a prop, it is not just for show. It is a tactical strike designed to undermine your entire credibility. Kelly has been walking around claiming she sets the standard for housewives, but Porsha is sitting there with a dossier that proves Kelly doesn't even have a permanent address.
It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I can already see Kelly trying to deflect. But you know, you can't really deflect a printed lease agreement.
No, you cannot.
Now, moving from the feuds to the fatalities. Which friendship is completely, unequivocally over? For me, it hurts my heart, but it has to be Shemaya and Porsha.
Oh, 100%.
This is the death of a long-time foundational friendship. Like, they have been through divorces, marriages, births together. Seeing them on opposite sides of the couch is genuinely tragic to me.
See, I completely disagree that it's tragic.
Really? How is it not?
Because it is the natural consequence of crossing a boundary that cannot be uncrossed. There is a psychological threshold in adult friendships. You can argue about being late, you can argue about perceived slights.
Sure, petty stuff.
But when you look at someone you claim to love on national television and tell them to close your glory hole, you have detonated the bridge.
That was really bad.
You do not just hug that out over a cocktail a month later. That is a targeted, deeply personal attack designed to humiliate. That is a friendship fatality, and Shemaya has every right to walk away forever.
You know, you make a very fair point. The humiliation factor is what makes it unforgivable.
Okay,
what about the walk-offs? Because someone always storms off the stage.
It's a contractual obligation at this point.
The reunion environment is specifically designed to induce a fight-or-flight response. The lights are hot, the dresses are restrictive, you are trapped on a couch for 12 hours. Who snaps first?
Based on the trailer's editing, it has to be Pinky or Phaedra.
Okay.
We see this incredibly bitter face-off between them.
The tension was crazy in that clip.
Phaedra, who we know is an attorney and knows exactly how to phrase an accusation without catching a defamation suit, brings up something very specific. And Pinky just starts deflecting wildly.
She gets so loud.
She starts shouting that the only B word she wants to talk about is the fact that she's having a baby. It is a classic evasion tactic. When you can't argue the facts, you raise the volume.
Yep, turn up the noise.
It gets so loud and so chaotic. One of them is definitely walking to their dressing room, demanding production stop the cameras.
I can literally hear the sound of the dressing room door slamming right now. And the producer trying to coax them out with a Diet Coke.
A Diet Coke and some almonds.
Exactly.
Mm.
Now we have to talk about the most important piece of reunion real estate, the seating chart conspiracy theories.
The true hierarchy.
It really is. It is the Bravo cast system. It dictates your value to the network, your leverage in contract negotiations, and your perceived power. So who deserves to sit directly next to the host in that coveted first chair? Does Drew's completely chaotic season earn her that spot?
It is a fascinating psychological game to analyze. Historically, the first chair goes to the person who anchored the central conflict. The person whose life generated the most ad revenue for the network.
Right, the main character energy.
Drew undeniably anchored the mess this season. Her divorce, the custody battle, the black tatted scandal, that was the narrative engine of the season. But K. Michelle anchored the narrative pushback.
That's true. She called everything out.
She was the Greek chorus calling out the absurdity. I could easily see production splitting them on either side of the center seat, forcing them to scream past the host at each other all day.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, give me your most ridiculous but completely believable prediction for this reunion. I want something that sounds insane, but is absolutely within the realm of possibility for this specific cast.
Oh, this is easy. The overarching mystery of the season has been this alleged coordinated attack. The plot and the plan to take down certain cast members.
Famous plot and plan.
Right. In the trailer, we see them fighting over who the actual mastermind is. K. Michelle is screaming, veins popping that she didn't do it. Drew is sitting there smugly saying she knows exactly who orchestrated it.
So who is it?
My prediction: K. Michelle finally snaps, exposes the real mastermind, and friend of Cynthia Bailey drops the bomb that she knew everything all along.
Yes. I love this theory because the trailer literally hints at this. We see a quick cut of Cynthia just sitting there looking incredibly innocent, adjusting her dress, and then dropping a metaphorical nuke on the entire couch.
People underestimate Cynthia so much, but she is the silent assassin of Atlanta.
She really is.
She doesn't scream, she doesn't throw things, she just smiles, takes a sip of her drink, and completely destroys your life with one perfectly timed, devastating piece of information. It is brilliant.
She plays the long game. But, going back to what Pinky said in the trailer about her mom being furious that she is having a fourth baby, it perfectly transitions us to this overarching theme that has haunted this entire season.
Oh, boy.
The universal, inescapable chaos of dealing with mothers.
Mother madness. It is a sociological pandemic.
It truly is. And it is not just Pinky's mom.
Yeah.
Think about the undercurrents of maternal tension we've seen. We had K. Michelle's completely bizarre off-screen beef with Shemea's mom.
That was wild.
The whole iconic hookah and Hallelujah versus Jesus and whiskey debate, where a mother is literally fighting with her daughter's castmate. And then the absolute tension at Drew's mother's 81st birthday party.
The energy was so thick.
The mother energy this season was just so heavy, so difficult, and frankly, so relatable.
It is a very specific brand of energy, isn't it? And it transcends tax brackets and reality TV status. Let's unpack the mechanics of it. Let's talk about the text messages. Have you ever received a text from a mother that starts as a completely simple, innocuous question and somehow, within 3 replies, escalates into a full emotional hostage situation?
Oh my gosh, yes. It is psychological whiplash. It starts with, "Are you coming to dinner on Sunday?" You reply, "I can't this week. I'm swamped with work."
A normal boundary.
Right. And suddenly the response is, "I guess nobody respects the sacrifices I made to raise you. I'll just eat this roast alone in the dark. Don't worry about me."
The classic guilt trip.
And you are just sitting there staring at your phone, completely paralyzed, wondering how a scheduling conflict turned into an indictment of your character as a daughter.
Exactly. It's the deployment of guilt as a control mechanism. Or consider the trap questions.
Yeah, I hate the trap questions.
The questions that have absolutely no correct answer, mathematically or logically. The classic, "Do you like this outfit on me?"
You literally start sweating.
If you say yes, you are lying, you are patronizing her, and you clearly don't care about how she looks in public. If you say no, you are a monster who is actively trying to destroy her self-esteem and hates her body. You are trapped in a rhetorical corner.
You literally cannot win.
Yeah.
You just have to fake a phone call and leave the room. It is amazing how a mother can bypass all of your adult boundaries and make you feel like you're a 12-year-old child again in under 30 seconds.
It's an art form.
I remember one time I was literally on my way to a major professional event. I was feeling so confident, so established. My mom called me, supposedly, just to say good luck. But right before she hung up, she said, "Oh, you're wearing your hair like that."
Oh no, not that.
It's the inflection on the word that.
Yeah.
And suddenly I was a preteen having a full-blown meltdown in a public bathroom. All my confidence gone, evaporated by a single syllable.
It is an absolute superpower. They installed the buttons, so of course they know exactly how to push them. And as we were comparing notes on this before we started recording, we realized our stories are eerily similar.
They really are.
We had to sit back and wonder how we both ended up with this exact, highly calibrated brand of maternal madness in our lives. It is like they all went to the same covert training camp in the 1980s on how to emotionally dismantle your children.
They really did. It's a shared cultural experience.
Yeah.
And just as a quick rule check for the listeners, we are keeping this funny and focused on our own messy experiences. We are absolutely not diagnosing anyone's mother on the television screen or in our personal lives. We are just acknowledging the shared universal trauma of the passive-aggressive text message and the judgmental sigh.
Exactly. No clinical diagnoses here, just pure, unadulterated solidarity in our suffering.
Exactly. But honestly, navigating this mother madness, dodging the emotional landmines, reading between the lines of every text message, it requires so much strategy.
It takes a toll.
It requires so much tactical planning that it honestly deserves its own true crime series.
Oh, without a doubt. We are basically emotional detectives at this point.
Which perfectly brings us to our next segment. We are jumping on the when I have a Netflix documentary trend that has been all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Because if they made a documentary about the Snark Squad or about our lives specifically, it would be a wild, gripping watch.
That's the real.
Let's paint the picture of what this documentary looks like.
Okay, let's set the cinematic vision. We have to start with the opening scene. It needs to establish a mood of impending doom.
Oh, okay. I love that.
I am picturing sweeping, desaturated drone shots of Atlanta at dusk, intercut with extreme, jittery, handheld close-ups of half-empty iced coffees just sweating on the dashboard of a car stuck in traffic.
Yes. It's the cinematography of modern anxiety.
Yeah.
And the auditory landscape isn't even music. It is just the sound of ice rattling nervously in a plastic cup, accompanied by the frantic, rapid-fire clicking of someone typing on an iPhone keyboard.
That is so stressful.
Then we move into the montage. The visual evidence of a life spiraling out of control. Missed errands piling up on the passenger seat, ignoring phone calls from our families, frantic, hushed FaceTimes in grocery store aisles about reality TV conspiracy theories.
Just unhinged behavior.
And the centerpiece of the montage, typing out massive paragraph-long texts in the group chat, staring at the blinking cursor, and then deleting the entire thing because it's just too unhinged to put in writing.
And then the music drops out entirely. Total deafening silence. And the ominous narrator comes in. And it has to be that deep, overly serious true crime voiceover.
Oh, do the voice.
They seem like normal, high-functioning adults. Until the group chat was leaked.
Oh my gosh, I have actual chills. That is a terrifying premise because it hits way too close to home.
It really does.
If my group chats were subpoenaed, I would literally have to flee the country. So what are we calling this limited series?
I think we have a few strong options for the title. We could go with something punchy and culturally relevant, like Hot Girl Delusion, a limited series.
I love that. It captures the essence of our daily struggles so well. Or maybe something slightly more grounded but equally tragic. Surviving Adulthood. The Group Chat Chronicles.
It would be #1 on the platform. I would binge all 6 episodes in one night.
Same. But babes, enough about our future Netflix documentary, our mother madness, and our reunion conspiracy theories.
Time for the main event.
Let's head to Atlanta, where the peaches are polished, the friendships are crumbling, and somebody is about to end the season with a read that deserves its own Emmy Award.
It is time. Let's get into this massive recap. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17 finale, Rebels and Outlaws.
I have been dying to unpack this with you. We are going to break this down beat by beat because there is so much to discuss and we cannot miss a single nuance.
We have to cover it all.
Let's start with beat 1. Businesses, bankruptcies, and bizarre photo shoots. We open the episode with Porsha, Cynthia, and Drew doing a photo shoot to formalize their Go Naked collaboration.
Can we please, for the love of all that is holy in the fashion industry, discuss the wardrobe direction for this shoot?
It was a choice.
They were wearing these coordinated outfits that can only be described as diarrhea green.
Oh, it was a rough shade. It was very swampy.
It wasn't just rough, it was offensive to the optic nerve. Out of all the greens on the color wheel, you have emerald, you have olive, mint, forest sage.
So many beautiful greens.
They actively chose a green that triggers a biological warning response in the human brain. It looked like something you would find at the bottom of a stagnant pond. It was a catastrophic styling choice.
Okay, the color theory was undeniably bad. But I am trying to find the silver lining here. I am bringing the optimism to this recap. I actually thought the moment during the shoot where they all leaned in and shared a sisterhood kiss on the lips for the camera was kind of sweet.
Sweet.
It felt like a moment of unity after such a divided season.
It felt like performative nonsense. Let's break down the mechanism of that kiss. They are kissing on the lips for a photo shoot, trying to sell a narrative of female empowerment and unity, while internally their brains are calculating exactly how to destroy each other at the upcoming reunion.
You don't think any of it was real?
It is all for the cameras. There is zero actual deep-rooted sisterhood in that room. It is a transactional relationship based on a shared desire for a Bravo paycheck and a compelling finale storyline.
You are so cynical, you completely ruin the magic of television. But speaking of transactional storylines, let's pivot to Porsha's love life. She is officially dumping Mike.
Finally.
And she didn't even do him the courtesy of doing it to his face. The poor man found out via Instagram.
Let's be real about the economics of reality TV romance. Mike was a prop.
A prop. That's harsh.
He served a very specific purpose. He provided a storyline for the first half of the season. His utility expired. The contract was essentially up, and he was dismissed. It is ruthless, but it is highly efficient.
So brutal, but probably accurate. She was moving on with Patrice Sway McKinney. And the way she went about initiating this romance was hilarious to me.
Oh, so weird.
Sway teaches these professional classes on how to open and manage salon suites. And Porsha is literally showing up to his business classes, uninvited, to stalk him.
Just sitting in the back.
She sits in the back, giggling. She says it's cute. Sway plays along and calls it a cute stalker move. And then in her confessional, she officially declares herself Porsha-sexual, meaning she doesn't conform to a type. She just goes with whatever energy she feels in the moment.
Right.
Despite how messy it started, I really hope Sway is the real deal for her.
I'm already setting a countdown timer on this relationship on my phone as we speak.
You are so bad.
Let's look at the structure here. It is a classic reality TV showmance. She needs a solid romantic angle for the finale to show growth, and she needs a +1 storyline for the upcoming season.
True. You always need a +1.
Sway sees the benefit of national exposure for his salon suite business, so he is willing to play ball. It's mutually beneficial. I give it a year max before they quietly release a joint statement about going their separate ways.
You are terrible. Let the woman be happy. But okay, let's talk about someone whose business is definitely not happy and is actually taking a massive hit right now, Pinky.
Oh, let's get into it.
This is a phenomenon I am officially calling the Pinky Paradox. We see her on the show in the finale celebrating signing commercial leases to open brand new slutty vegan locations in D.C. and Vegas.
Expanding the empire.
She is popping champagne, throwing money around, talking about it all. But then the end cards roll, and they reveal the devastating truth.
The audacity of the edit is breathtaking. It is a masterclass in cognitive dissonance. The end card plainly states she is nearly $4 million in debt and is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
$4 million.
And what is she doing in response to this financial catastrophe? She is not retreating. She is launching a perfume line and going on TikTok Live to teach her haters how to conduct business.
It is peak delusion. How do you logically launch a luxury fragrance while you are actively filing for bankruptcy protection in federal court?
Because you have to understand how Chapter 11 works and how reality stars exploit it. Chapter 11 isn't liquidation, it's a restructuring.
Okay, so it buys time.
Exactly. It allows a business to keep operating while holding creditors at bay. But the PR optics of bankruptcy are terrible. So what is the psychological mechanism here? It's distraction.
Look over here, not over there.
She is essentially saying, do not look at the $4 million mountain of unpaid bills behind the curtain. Look at the shiny new celebrity-endorsed bottle of perfume. It is a PR shell game.
Wow, when you put it like that.
She is leveraging her TV platform to outrun her creditors by generating fast cash through a low-overhead product like perfume. It is honestly brilliant reality TV survival behavior. She is teaching a masterclass in fake it till you make it, even when the make it part has completely collapsed into rubble.
It is so messy, but when you explain it like that, the strategy makes a twisted kind of sense. But speaking of messy business ventures that make zero sense, we have to talk about Angela's fangy flop.
The biggest flop of the season.
After hyping this up all season, she finally brings out her prototype fan to show the girls.
I cannot emphasize this enough for the listeners who may have missed the audio mix on the episode. The fan sounded exactly like a gas-powered industrial leaf blower. The decibel level was absurd.
And it instantly, within seconds of being turned on, got caught in Porsha's Go Naked wig. I was screaming at my television.
That was a hostile attack on that wig.
The visual comedy of Angela panicking, mashing buttons while this loud, aggressive, vibrating fan is actively trying to eat Porsha's synthetic hair. It was absolute gold.
It was an unmitigated disaster. The sunk cost fallacy on full display. And the best part is the irony of her character arc. Angela spent the entire season trying to position herself as the Nancy Drew of Atlanta.
She really did try to be the detective.
She was acting like a private investigator, spying on her castmates, creeping around hotel hallways in the middle of the night to gather intel on everyone else's secrets. Meanwhile, she should have been on Alibaba just ordering cheap, quiet fans in bulk to slap her logo on.
She could have saved so much time.
She tried to manufacture this whole sophisticated tech mogul storyline, and the resulting product is a literal noise violation and a physical hazard to weave everywhere.
It truly was a hazard. Okay, moving seamlessly from business hazards to legal hazards. This brings us to Beat 2, legal woes and creepy therapists.
This took a dark turn.
It was a very dark, very heavy shift in tone for the finale. We see Kelly meeting with Phaedra to prepare for her upcoming court appearance. Kelly is trying to get legal permission from the judge to film with her children, and we learn the grim detail that her ex-husband actually went to jail for owing $31,000 in back child support.
Right. And let's look at Phaedra's role in this. Phaedra is giving her this bizarre legal pep talk. She tells Kelly to put on the full armor of God, and she literally gifts Kelly a bra to make sure she is dressed appropriately for family court.
It was such a strange moment.
It is such a strange intersection of religion, fashion, and legal strategy. But what is truly fascinating here is the outside context that informs the scene. You have to look at Kelly's press tour.
All the interviews.
She has been doing all these podcast interviews, specifically a very viral one with Carlos King, where she aggressively claims that she sets the standard for what a real housewife should be.
Yes. I saw those clips floating around the timeline. She's so arrogant about it.
Yeah. She is walking around with this immense superiority complex. She is acting like she is the blueprint for luxury reality television. But let's look at the mechanism of her actual life.
The reality versus the claim.
She is simultaneously experiencing a completely chaotic, unhoused living situation on the show, and she is battling in family court over a relatively small sum in the grand scheme of housewives' wealth, $31,000.
Which is terrible, obviously, but yeah, not housewives' money.
The cognitive dissonance is off the charts. You cannot claim to set the standard of luxury and aspiration when your primary storyline revolves around not having a permanent address and your ex going to ditch for child support. It is a profound lack of self-awareness.
It is definitely a massive disconnect between how she views herself and what the audience is seeing. But as heavy as the child support legal drama was, it wasn't even the most unsettling part of this section of the finale. Let's talk about Drew's mom's 81st birthday party.
Oh, this scene was genuinely skin-crawling.
First of all, the context of the party is tragic. It's held at a rental Airbnb because Ralph, Drew's soon-to-be ex-husband, explicitly refused to let her use their actual marital house to host her 81-year-old mother's birthday during his scheduled weekend.
Such a toxic move.
Which is just a masterclass in petty, cruel control tactics.
Yeah.
But into this already tense, emotionally fragile environment walks Dr. Ken.
The marriage counselor.
Yes, the licensed therapist who was actively treating Drew and Ralph on camera earlier this season. Why is a medical professional attending an 81st birthday party for his client's mother at an Airbnb?
For camera time.
And the way he was behaving, it was deeply inappropriate. He goes straight up to Phaedra and gives her this incredibly long, hovering, intimate hug. His lips are practically resting on her ear, his hands are lingering, and he is holding on for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Phaedra looks terrified.
Phaedra is looking directly into the camera lens with these wide eyes, essentially screaming, "Help me!"
He was completely lit, and he was heavily, aggressively seeking camera time.
It appalled me. I was genuinely upset watching it as a viewer. There are massive ethical violations happening right in front of us. You are a licensed psychological professional.
The board of psychology would have a field day.
There are strict rules about dual relationships. You do not socialize with your clients, you do not attend their family parties, and you certainly do not go over to Porsha, whisper in her ear, and use your credentials as a pickup line by saying you'll counsel her next marriage. What on earth?
The audacity.
You do not say that to a woman who is currently dating someone, and you don't flirt using your therapeutic license on a reality television show? He could lose his practice.
Look, I completely hear what you're saying about the ethical outrage. The psychological boards would absolutely have a field day with this footage. But let's strip away the ethics and look at this from a purely analytical reality TV production standpoint.
How is this okay from any standpoint?
Because it is amazing television. Think about the mechanism of Bravo thirst. The man clearly saw the red light on the cameras rolling, recognized that his client's marriage had imploded and his original storyline was dead, and decided, you know what? I want a peach of my own.
He wants to be a cast member.
He is actively auditioning for a full-time cast member slot. He wants to be the new Peter Thomas of Atlanta. It is shameless, it is wildly unethical, it is damaging to his profession, and I could not look away for a single second.
It was gross. It felt like watching a car crash. Okay, let's watch that slimy energy off and move to beat 3, the horse manure and surrogate stress.
The horse.
We are dealing with the fallout from Shamia's Halloween party, where you will recall Drew's boy toy Terry brought a live horse to a suburban neighborhood.
Which remains the most absurd, logistically confusing flex in Housewives history. Who transports livestock to a costume party?
Well, the flex backfired spectacularly because Shamia gets slapped with a massive $2,200 fine from her homeowners association because the horse pooped on her meticulously manicured lawn.
$2,200.
And clearly, the HOA in her neighborhood does not play around with zoning rules.
$2,200 for horse poop. You know exactly how this happened. You know there was some neighborhood Karen on the HOA board sitting in her living room watching the Bravo cameras and the horse through her window with binoculars.
She was waiting for it.
Just waiting for the animal to drop a single apple so she could gleefully write that ticket. The socioeconomics of HOA power trips is a documentary in itself.
Seriously. Those boards are ruthless, and my heart honestly aches for Shamia in this episode. She meets with her surrogate, Daphne, and the energy in the room is suffocating.
It's very heavy.
Shamia is so stressed, she reveals she is down to her final male embryo. Her husband, Gerald, has this grotesque, antiquated, patriarchal demand that they absolutely must have a boy to carry on his legacy.
Which is just vile.
He is so rigid about it that he won't even film with the surrogate. Shamia is crying. She is shaking, saying she doesn't know how she is going to tell him if the transfer doesn't work. It is such a heavy burden, and you can see the light and the joy just leaving her eyes.
I hear what you're saying about the surrogate stress. The pressure of sex-selective IVF and a demanding husband is a very real, very dark pressure she is under. But we cannot just look at her trauma. We also have to analyze her behavior as a result of it.
Okay, what do you mean?
Let's talk about the psychological concept of displacement. She is so stressed and powerless at home with Gerald that she is taking that chaotic, anxious energy and displacing it directly onto the group dynamic.
By bringing up the horse poop.
Instead of just laughing off the horse incident as a bizarre party foul, she prints out the physical HOA invoice, again, the tactical weaponization of office supplies, and she brings it to K. Michelle's country music listening party.
It was wrong venue for that.
She walks into someone else's career milestone event to demand a formal financial apology from Drew over horse manure.
I know, the timing was terrible. She let her anxiety turn her into the villain of the party.
It is beyond terrible timing. It is a catastrophic lack of situational awareness. You are at a friend's album release party. People are wearing cowboy boots and listening to unreleased tracks, and you are passing out a municipal bill for horse feces.
When you say it like that, it sounds completely insane.
It is hilarious to watch as a viewer, but it proves Shamia has completely lost the plot. She is so focused on playing the victim in this specific scenario, trying to regain control over some aspect of her life, that she is alienating everyone in the room.
I just think she was drowning, and she grabbed onto the horse poop issue like a life raft because she couldn't yell at Gerald. But it definitely didn't help her popularity with the group. Now, moving from Shamia's marital stress to the absolute devastation of Drew's life.
This was rough.
This is beat 4. Drew's devastating reality versus the black scammer drama. This section gave me emotional whiplash.
Severe concussive whiplash.
We see the end cards updating us on Drew's divorce proceedings, and it is heartbreaking. Let's lay out the facts. She lost primary custody of her children.
That is terrible.
She was legally ordered to pay child support to Ralph, and she was kicked out of the marital home. I got genuinely emotional reading that. We have watched Ralph be a master manipulator and gaslighter on television for years.
He is a textbook villain.
He demanded her flight records in court to prove she was an absent mother, when she was literally just flying to acting jobs to financially support the family he was neglecting. He played the family court system perfectly, he manipulated the narrative of the working mother, and Drew lost everything.
The result in family court is undeniably tragic, and it highlights how the legal system can be weaponized against working mothers. Yes. But as reality TV analysts, let's look at how Drew is choosing to navigate this crisis on camera.
Oh boy, here we go.
She is losing her home, she is losing primary custody, her character is being assassinated in court. And what is her strategic response for her television storyline? She brings this guy, black-tatted, to her mother's birthday party to parade him around as a potential love interest.
I know, it is a classic distraction technique. She wanted to show she was unbothered.
It is a disastrous, self-destructive technique. Let's bring in the real-world context for the listeners who might not follow the blogs. The Shade Room and other outlets have been heavily investigating this black-tatted character.
Oh, the lawsuits are everywhere.
There are active lawsuits. People are alleging he is a massive grifter running a Ponzi scheme and stealing money. Drew even admits on camera during a confessional that the news breaking about him is devastating.
So she knew.
So my question, the mechanism I cannot understand, is why? Why, when you are in the middle of a brutal, high-stakes custody battle where your ex-husband is actively trying to paint you as irresponsible and unfit, would you risk your legal optics by publicly associating with a known scammer just for a fake Bravo storyline?
I think it was pure ego. She wanted to win the breakup in the court of public opinion. She wanted Ralph to see her on TV with a new, flashy guy. It was a psychological shield against the rejection of the divorce.
But it's like being audited by the IRS and bringing Al Capone to court as your character witness.
That's a wild comparison, but fair.
The mechanism here is sheer ego, completely overriding basic legal survival. You do not win a breakup by associating with someone running a Ponzi scheme. It is a terrible strategic move. She is treating her real, consequential life like a scripted soap opera, and it is costing her an actual family court.
It is just sad all around. The reality TV machine ate her alive this season. But it all leads us to the absolute climax of the finale. Beat 5, the Hoedown Showdown. We are at K. Michelle's Puddin' Saloon listening party.
Puddin' has officially arrived in the building.
K. Michelle is celebrating her transition from R&B into country music. And for context, her country album actually dropped in real life on July 31st.
Good for her, honestly.
So this isn't just a fake housewives business venture. This is a real career pivot.
Yes.
She has dressed the part in the Fringe. She has the saloon venue looking amazing. And to assert her dominance, she makes everyone in the cast sing the chorus to her classic hit song, VSOP, on the microphone.
It was a brilliant Machiavellian power move. Let's unpack the psychology of that.
Making them all sing.
She is forcing a group of women, most of whom cannot hold a tune, to publicly praise her vocal abilities and acknowledge her legacy in the music industry. It is a forced team-building exercise designed entirely to establish workplace dominance. She's reminding them who the actual star in the room is.
But then the microphone gets passed to Drew. Drew, who is a literal professional singer and actress, takes the mic and dramatically pretends she doesn't know the words to the song. It was so incredibly petty.
The microaggressions were flying across that saloon. Drew was doing that whole dismissive, oh, I don't know this little tune, how does the melody go again?
Yeah.
It was purely designed to puncture K. Michelle's ego and get under her skin.
Amazingly, K. Michelle holds it together. After the singing, she gives this beautiful, touching speech about sisterhood, growth, and how these women inspire her country music journey. And I swear to you, the piece lasted for exactly 3 seconds.
3 seconds is a very generous estimate.
Pinky, operating as the ultimate bone collector of the group, decides to chime in. She makes a passive-aggressive comment about how nice it is to see Drew and K. Michelle finally having a peaceful moment.
The match in the powder barrel.
And instantly, the tension snaps. They start arguing, they start calling each other crazy, and the argument goes right back to the black-tatted drama. They are literally arguing over who knew this alleged scammer first.
Because being the first person to associate with a federal liability is definitely the prize you want to fight over at a party.
Drew goes for the kill. She whips out her phone, pulls up printed text messages from February, and shows the group that K. Michelle replied to a direct message from Black Tatted, calling him handsome with heart emojis.
The receipt.
K. Michelle had been publicly claiming she didn't know him and didn't even open his DMs until much later in the year. Drew caught her in a digital lie with the receipts.
Did she catch her in a lie, or did she catch her engaging in standard celebrity fan management?
What do you mean?
Let's analyze the digital boundaries here. K. Michelle gets thousands of messages. Sending a heart emoji to a guy in your DMs months ago is just being polite to a fan. Drew acting like she unearthed the Watergate tapes because of a heart emoji is a massive, desperate reach.
Well, K. Michelle did not take the exposure well. She absolutely lunges at Drew. Security has to immediately intervene. It is absolute chaos. Drinks are spilling. People are screaming. And then it happens, the fall. Drew takes this massive, dramatic, slow-motion tumble to the hardwood floor of the saloon.
We need to put on our coroner hats and do a full forensic autopsy on this fall.
I honestly believe Drew was pushed in the scuffle. Security was swarming from all sides. People were yelling. Bodies were colliding. It was a dangerous, volatile situation.
Let's roll the tapes back in our minds. Frame by forensic frame. Drew was not pushed by the security guard. Drew was not pushed by K. Michelle.
Then what happened?
I fully 100% agree with Porsha's confessional read on this specific moment. Drew either tripped over the hem of her own extra-long, wide-leg pants, or, as Porsha so eloquently put it, she was pushed by the fans' breath as they yelled at her to leave the stage. It was a calculated theatrical choice.
You think she faked a physical injury on camera?
I think she is a trained actress who recognized a moment to make herself the victim in a scene where she was rapidly losing the verbal argument. But honestly, if Drew really wanted to secure her spot for next season and cement her legacy, she played the physical comedy wrong.
She should have played it differently.
She shouldn't have just tripped, looked embarrassed, and popped back up. She should have committed. She should have done a full Jackie Christie feint.
Oh my gosh, the legendary feint from Basketball Wives.
Yes. For the casual viewers who don't study ancient reality TV texts, Jackie Christie once faked a medical emergency so spectacularly during an argument that it became pop culture history.
It is iconic.
If Drew was going to fake a fall, she should have hit the deck, closed her eyes, gone limp, and waited for production to call an ambulance. Make the network pay for the paramedics.
That is unhinged.
If you are going to commit to the physical comedy of a fake fall to win an argument, you have to follow through to the hospital. Just popping back up, brushing off your knees, and saying, "I tripped," is amateur hour.
You are demanding an Emmy-level method acting performance from a woman who just got publicly booed out of a saloon. Because that is exactly what happens next. The crowd turns on her. K. Michelle's fans literally booed Drew Sidora out of the building.
And stay out.
And that is how the episode ends. The final end cards roll over footage of Drew being exiled into the parking lot of the hoedown.
It was a very rough, very humbling night for Drew Sidora.
It really was. But the drama does not stop when the Bravo cameras go down. Let's move to beat 6. Leaks, rumors, and off-screen drama. The internet is going crazy right now, trying to figure out what happens next.
The Reddit threads are in absolute meltdown mode over the contract rumors for season 18. The speculation is rampant.
Let's go through the biggest ones. Rumor 1, Shemaya is allegedly fired, or at least not being offered a full-time contract next season, to free up budget.
Which, mathematically and from a production standpoint, makes perfect sense.
You think so?
If a network is bringing in expensive heavy hitters, you need to cut the dead weight to balance the ledger. And after the HOA invoice incident, Shemaya's storyline has completely flatlined. She alienated the cast, and there is nowhere left for her narrative to go.
But wait, because the heavy hitter they are allegedly making budget room for. Rumor 2 is that Nene Leakes has allegedly been offered a contract to return to Atlanta.
The ultimate rumor.
I am spiraling. I am manifesting this with every fiber of my being. We need Nene back to fix the ecosystem of this show.
Let's analyze the power dynamics if Nene actually returns. The entire structure of that reunion couch shifts instantly. Right now, Porsha thinks she is the queen bee. She thinks she is running the show.
She definitely acts like it.
But Nene invented the hive. Nene built the house they're all filming in. If she walks back in, Porsha is immediately demoted back to little sister status. It would be incredible television to watch that ego clash. But I am a skeptic. I will believe it when I see Nene holding a peach in the opening title sequence.
Okay, rumor 3. Cherie might be returning in a friend of capacity to help the current cast navigate filming on air mattresses.
Honestly, given how many of these women are currently unhoused, battling evictions, or in financial ruin, Cherie's expertise in air mattress living from the early Chateau Cherie construction days would be highly relevant. She could be their wilderness survival guide for being broke on television.
That is so incredibly shady. But it brings us perfectly to our first segment. It is time to hand out the hardware. Segment 1. Peach of the Season. We are going to rapidly award our end-of-season superlatives, and we have to vigorously defend our choices. Are you ready?
I was born ready to judge. Let's do it.
Okay, first up. Season MVP. Who carried the narrative weight of the season? I am giving my MVP to K. Michelle.
Really?
Yes. She brought raw, unfiltered authenticity. She gave us actual, undeniable talent with her country music pivot, and she wasn't afraid to get down in the mud and fight when she had to protect her boundaries. She earned it.
I vehemently disagree with your assessment. My season MVP goes to Phaedra Parks.
Phaedra. She barely did anything all season. She was basically a background character.
Exactly. That is precisely why she is the MVP. You have to respect the mechanics of her hustle.
Yes.
Phaedra managed to secure a massive Bravo paycheck while doing absolutely nothing of consequence to damage her own brand. She showed up, she wore a pristine bob, she gave Kelly some terrible free legal advice about bras, she hugged a creepy therapist, and she floated entirely above the fray. It is the ultimate reality TV grift, and I deeply respect the efficiency of it.
We clearly value very different things in our entertainment. Okay, best confessional.
This one is mathematically indisputable. It goes to Drew.
I actually agree with you on this one.
She treats every single solo scene and confessional chair like it is her final callback for a daytime Emmy. The calculated tears, the dramatic pauses, the vocal inflection. She is acting for her life in that chair. It may not be authentic, but it is incredibly compelling viewing.
She really is giving us theater, darling. Okay, best dressed of the season.
I'm giving it to Porsha.
Even after you just spent 5 minutes roasting the diarrhea green photo shoot.
I am judging her on aggregate. Despite the diarrhea green anomaly, when she was on her own, dictating her own personal wardrobe and not matching with the group, she looked flawless. She implicitly understands the assignment of looking like a wealthy, aspirational reality star.
Fair enough. Her solo looks were strong.
Yeah.
Funniest housewife.
Pinky.
Because of the slutty vegan empire expansion.
No, absolutely not. Because of the sheer unadulterated absurdity of hiding a $4 million federal bankruptcy behind a slutty vegan expansion announcement and a TikTok perfume launch, you have to laugh at the scale of the delusion. It is the funniest, darkest, most American thing on the show.
It is pretty wild when you frame it like that. Okay, final superlative. Most chaotic energy.
Shamia.
Definitely Shamia.
No debate.
You do not print out an invoice for horse poop and hand it out at a country music album release party unless you are operating on a frequency of pure, unadulterated chaos.
Mm-hmm.
She wins this in a landslide. Agreed. Okay, moving on to segment 2, the reunion burn book. We are going to write playful, shady one-sentence notes for each major housewife, as if production were prepping cue cards for the host to hold during the reunion. You take the first one.
Let's start with K. Michelle. The cue card reads, "Please stop screaming at the guest actors and extras. The production budget cannot take the liability insurance hit."
That is so good. For Drew, the card says, "If you fake a fall on this stage tonight, you are paying your own medical bills out of pocket."
For Shamia, do not mention the horse, the poop, or the HOA. We are begging you. Move on.
For Porsha, Sway is in the dressing room. Please stop checking your phone to see if he posted you on his story.
For Angela, leave the leaf blower fan in the trunk of your car. It is a noise violation and a fire hazard.
For Kelly, you are not the standard. You are currently unhoused. That is so mean. I feel bad even reading it.
It's just facts. The burn book does not lie. And finally, for Pinky, congratulations on the new baby. Please stop asking the host for a personal loan during commercial breaks.
Oh my goodness, the burn book is lethal today. Let's pivot to the future. Segment 3, who's coming back next season? Let's look into the Bravo crystal ball. Who is a guaranteed return?
Drew and Porsha are locked in, contracts probably already signed. Drew has far too much real-life tragedy happening with her divorce and custody battle for producers to ignore. It is incredibly dark, but from a network perspective, it is guaranteed ratings. And Porsha is a fan favorite. She anchors the comedy and the glamour.
I totally agree. They are the anchors. Who is facing a possible demotion?
Angela, Her whole run this season felt like an extended audition that she failed. She was playing detective, and the payoff just fell flat. The Fangy fan was a bust. Her rumors were confusing and poorly investigated. She just didn't pop on screen.
Yeah.
I see her getting demoted to a friend of to make room for bigger personalities.
Which perfectly makes room for our surprise comeback. Nen Leagues, we are manifesting this loudly, put it into the universe.
If the rumors are true, the budget has been cleared. The stage is set for the queen to reclaim her throne.
Okay, who gets the friend of promotion?
It has to be Cynthia Bailey. If she truly reveals at the reunion that she knew the plot the whole time, she proves she is still the silent mastermind of Atlanta. You reward that level of covert manipulation with a contract.
And finally, which cast member is most likely to launch a ridiculous new business before filming starts next year?
Shemaya. After her rum venture failed to gain traction, she is going to pivot and launch a ridiculous perfume line to compete with Pinky. We can joke right now that it is going to smell like horse manure in desperation, and she will be forced to try and sell it on TikTok Live.
Stop. You are awful.
Eric.
All right, let's wrap this up with segment 4, Final Peach Prophecies. Well, let's make some hard predictions for what happens after the reunion airs and the dust settles. Which friendship actually survives the reunion?
None of them. The scorched earth policy will leave no survivors.
Come on, one has to survive. Give me one.
Fine. Porsha and Sway. They aren't friends, they're a romantic couple, but it is the only relationship on that stage that is surviving the bloodbath of the reunion. Everyone else is leaving with third-degree emotional burns.
Okay, who leaves the season looking the strongest in the eyes of the public?
K. Michelle. Think about the strategic arc. Her country album actually dropped in real life, proving she isn't just faking a storyline. She got the final musical number of the finale to showcase her undeniable talent, and she successfully ran Drew out of her own party, establishing dominance. She won the optics war handily.
She really did play a great game. Who is secretly holding a grudge that will explode next year?
Kelly. She is holding a massive, bubbling grudge against Phaedra. Let's trace the logic. Phaedra gave her all that free legal advice before court, and it didn't work. Kelly's ex still went to jail, and Kelly still looks bad. Kelly is going to blame Phaedra's legal skills rather than her own circumstances, and that misplaced anger is going to be a major storyline next season.
Oh, the mechanism of misplaced blame. That is a brilliant prediction. Okay, give me one outrageous prediction that would make the fans completely lose their minds.
Are you ready for this level of chaos?
Yes, hit me.
Drew's new guy, the alleged scammer Black Tatted, gets indicted by the feds midway through filming next season. The Bravo cameras catch the whole raid. And in the ensuing chaos, as Drew is having a breakdown, Dr. Ken steps in to counsel the group through the trauma and through sheer persistence and thirst, becomes the first male full-time cast member holding a peach in the opening credits.
I'm screaming. That would break the internet. The Snark Squad would not survive that level of television.
It would fundamentally change the medium of reality television forever.
I can't even process that scenario. But honestly, this whole finale was a lot to process. Before we go, I want to leave everyone with a final thought to mull over.
Yeah.
We spent the last hour laughing and breaking down the mechanisms of these women's lives, but consider this. We just watched a woman lose custody of her children, we watched a marriage dissolve, and we watched a licensed therapist use a ruined family to audition for a television show. Are we reaching a point where the sociological and psychological toll of reality television on these real humans outweighs our right to be entertained? Think about the cost of the content the next time you log online and demand better drama from these women.
A heavy but necessary question. The price of our entertainment is their actual sanity.
It really is. So, to our amazing Snark Squad, we're turning it over to you. We want to hear your thoughts in the group chats and the comments. Who earned your peach of the season?
And we desperately want to know, what would your personal Netflix documentary be called?
And finally, which zodiac sign's weekly horoscope felt suspiciously accurate to your own messy life this week? Be honest.
Thank you all for spending the Atlanta season with us. It has been an incredible, exhausting ride.
It really has. We appreciate you guys so much. Stay shady, stay fabulous, and we'll see you on the Snark Side.
Just remember, if a man shows up to your house with a horse, call the HOA immediately.